Empires collapse loudly, structures fracture loudly, crowds panic loudly. But survival does not always announce itself. Sometimes the future is preserved in silence, through one decision, one loyalty, one person who refuses to disconnect. This is Ruth, the hidden thread that remains when everything larger is failing. Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. We continue decoding the hidden architecture of Scripture, not as religion, as system memory, today. Ruth, the book that shows how continuity survives collapse. Judges with societal malfunction, nations drifting, people looping, temporary rescue failing, public disorder. Ruth opens in that same damaged world, but it does not focus on crowds. It focuses on a household, a family line, a small private bond. This shift is intentional because Scripture is telling you, when public systems become unstable, the next stage of survival moves underground. History is no longer carried by the masses, it is carried by threads. Ruth is an outsider. She has every reason to separate, every reason to leave, every reason to protect herself, but instead she makes one of the most important symbolic moves in Scripture. She stays attached. She refuses disconnection. Where you go, I go. Where you remain, I remain. This is not just emotional loyalty. This is covenant continuity in hidden terms. Ruth represents the consciousness that chooses alignment over self-preserving fragmentation when collapse teaches everyone to scatter. The hidden thread survives because someone chooses to hold. Much of Ruth is visually humble. Fields, harvest leftovers, small acts, provision from fragments. Nothing dramatic, but that humility is the message. Ruth is the art of gathering what remains after the large system has passed over. She works in leftovers, residual grain, missed fragments, and symbolically this means the future is often built from what the collapsing machine considered too small to matter. Not armies, not kings, fragments, quiet preserved pieces. Then appears Boaz. Boaz is not conquest, not emergency rescue, not temporary judge violence. Boaz is stable receiving structure, a place where the thread can anchor. This is crucial. Preservation requires two things: a thread that survives, and a structure willing to receive it. Ruth carries continuity. Boaz gives continuity somewhere to land. Together they form transfer. This is why Ruth feels deceptively quiet, because while almost nothing epic happens, everything important happens. From this hidden relationship comes lineage. From lineage comes David. From David comes the continuation of the royal arc, meaning the next age is not preserved by public power. It is preserved by an almost invisible connection no one would have thought mattered. The future enters history through a hidden thread. So what is Ruth really? Ruth is the preservation of continuity during collapse. While larger systems fail, scatter, and repeat their disorder, the future survives inside small loyalties, quiet fragments, and relationships that refuse disconnection. History is not always carried by armies. Sometimes it is carried by one thread that does not break. Judges showed the cycle. Ruth shows the surviving strand within the cycle. And next, the pressure grows larger, because preserved threads eventually demand public power.